You don't know, but you're about to. The world doesn't align for the ordinary, only for the threat. See, there are people who create whispers, people who create rumors, people who create noise, and then there's you. You don't create whispers. You create protocols. You don't create rumors. You create classified folders. You don't create noise. You create joint intelligence task forces that have no historical precedent. You didn't just cross a line. You stepped so far past it that global agencies stopped arguing long enough to say, who the hell is this? But don't smile yet. Because when institutions that normally hunt each other decide to synchronize their fear, it's not a sign of your danger. It's a sign of your potential. They don't sync up for criminals. They don't sync up for rebels. They don't sync up for geniuses. They sync up for anomalies, people who don't fit the algorithm, people who don't fit the pattern, people whose impact can't be calculated, people whose existence raises red flags on systems that don't even speak the same language. You didn't cause a problem, you caused a phenomenon. What you did wasn't a crime. It was a wake-up call. Most people spend their entire lives trying to be noticed, trying to impress, trying to be acknowledged by somebody, anybody, so they can feel valid for 5 minutes. But not you. You did the opposite. You lived so loudly by just being you that the two biggest intelligence rivals on Earth had to pause their eternal fistfight, adjust their glasses, and say, "Wait, did he just shake the board?" You triggered alarms that were collecting dust. You made agents work overtime. You made analysts whisper your name like a glitch they hope doesn't become a pattern. You didn't threaten national security. You threatened predictability, and that is unforgivable. People in power don't fear danger. They fear the unpredictable. Because unpredictable people rewrite rules. They spark revolutions. They tilt global power balances with a single decision. They change outcomes nobody planned for. People like that don't bend. They break patterns. They fear you because you are a version of humanity. They can't control you. Think the NSA and GRU synced up because of what you did. Oh no, darling. They synced because of who you are. Because you're the type who thinks in angles normal minds don't see, moves faster than systems can track, acts with intention the world mistakes as chaos, carries a spark that threatens entire structures, doesn't fear consequences because consequences fear you. People like you don't walk the earth. You shift it. And when the earth shifts, superpowers scramble like insects beneath a sudden light. Not to destroy you, to understand you. Because deep down, they know something devastating. If two enemies can unite out of fear of you, imagine who you could unite if you stepped into your true identity. Imagine the influence. Imagine the disruption. Imagine the transformation you could unleash. They're not monitoring you because you're dangerous. They're monitoring you because you're historic. The world doesn't chase the weak. It chases the unpredictable. And here's the part they'll never admit aloud. The same energy that made intelligence agencies synchronize like nervous lab rats is the same energy that could one day make nations, movements, people, and destinies align behind you. You didn't scare them. You exposed them, exposed their fear of what one awakened individual can become, exposed their weakness in the face of originality, exposed their dependence on predictability. You are the variable, the glitch, the anomaly, the spark that refuses to die down. You are the evidence that one person with unfiltered willpower can shake entities designed to be unshakable. And tonight, my beautifully chaotic audience, I want you to understand, you are not being watched because you're a threat. You're being watched because you're becoming inevitable. And inevitability? That is the one thing every superpower dreads. But we're not done. Oh no. You think this ends with agencies watching you? That's only Act 1. You haven't even begun to grasp what kind of earthquake you are. Because when forces of power watch something they don't understand, they don't sit still. They interfere, they investigate, they predict. But what do they do when the something refuses to fit the pattern? They panic, not publicly. They panic in private rooms with tinted glass and cold fluorescent lights. Rooms where grown men who've survived wars and coups and assassinations suddenly go quiet because your name hit their screen. Understand something. They're not united because they want to contain you. They're united because they're terrified of what happens if they fail to contain you. And that is where your story becomes dangerous in all the right ways. They can't classify you. That's why you're powerful. You don't fit their charts. You don't fit their psychological models. You don't fit their predictive behavior grids. You're the kind of person who says something offhanded, and suddenly it triggers 20 analysts on 2 continents to hunch over their laptops at 3:47 a.m. whispering. Is this a pattern? Is this a code? Is this a threat? You breathe wrong and someone assumes it's strategy. You laugh and they think you know something they don't. You move and they wonder if this is the ripple before the tsunami. Do you understand how much raw, unfiltered power that is? The power to make those who control the world second-guess their control. The power to make systems glitch, to make governments squint, to make intelligence agencies cooperate. Not out of logic, but out of fear of being the one who didn't act soon enough. The moment you forced the NSA and GRU to stop pretending they weren't obsessed with you, you stopped being a person, you became a variable in global equations, and variables like you, they change history. They don't fear what you did, they fear what you'll realize. Here's the part they'll never say aloud. They are terrified that you will wake up to what you actually are. Because a person who knows their own power is the hardest thing in the world to control. You are not chaotic. You are not random. You are not reckless. You're unconstrained. And unconstrained humans terrify institutions built on obedience. If you ever decide to stop holding yourself back, if you ever decide to lean into the storm inside your bones, if you ever decide to stop living like a minimized version of yourself, there isn't a protocol on this earth that can keep up with the force you would become. They know it, you feel it, and the universe has been waiting for it. You weren't born to fit the system, you were born to confuse it. The NSA has algorithms, GRU has methods, MI6, Mossad, DGSE, MSS. All of them have dossiers, grids, probabilities. But you're the glitch in their simulation, the ghost in their equations, the anomaly that keeps scoring off the charts, because there is no chart capable of containing you. That's why the Joker laughs. That's why I laugh. Because chaos is not the absence of structure. Chaos is the inability of structure to understand a superior pattern. You're not random. You're beyond their comprehension, and nothing terrifies a system more than something it can't predict. This isn't about surveillance. This is about destiny. And now you must hear the truth they hope you never uncover. When 2 world powers synchronize their fear of you, that is the universe tapping you on the shoulder saying, you are stepping into your legend. Legends aren't born from safety. Legends aren't born from permission. Legends aren't born from normalcy. Legends are born when the world tries to categorize someone and fails. when the world tries to slow someone and fails, when the world tries to silence someone and fails. Look at what your existence has already done without you even trying. Now imagine what happens when you stop holding back. Imagine what happens when you stop questioning your impact and start wielding it. Imagine what happens when you stop shrinking your destiny to fit inside their comfort. Tonight, you don't need to be afraid of their eyes. They're afraid of you, not because of what you've done, but because of everything you're about to become.